Let's get good. I am the gamer under development, and this is Humankind OpenDev. We are on to the final scenario that we can see on this screen. Maybe they'll add more later, but for right now, this is it. That scenario is Hold the Fort, resist assault worldwide. The city of London is the pride of its people, but the Khmer and the Aztecs have joined forces to bring your beloved city down. Rally your forces and defend England from the invaders. For the king. This is a 60-minute scenario. This is quite possibly the longest scenario we've been given. Yeah. Okay. That should be interesting, since I've managed to get almost double time out of every other scenario. This is going to be a very, very long scenario. That being said, I expect it to be awesome. Here we go. Let's do it. Hold the fort. What if the Aztecs and the Khmer each knew each other? I'm probably pronouncing Khmer right, or Khmer wrong, rather. What if they shared years of peace, trade, and diplomatic treaties? What if they had decided to join their forces to conquer Europe? What if only the English stood between them and victory? The Aztec Khmer forces approach, defend the city until your overseas armies return for England. Survive as long as you can, eliminating the enemy when the opportunity arises. Understood. Okay, so let's start out by surveying the landscape here a little bit. We have what looks to be an Aztec army here with Jaguar warriors. No strength penalty from damage. That is insanely good. Holy crap, the Aztecs are going to be awesome when this releases. And then we also have these guys over here, which are just great swordsmen. I'm assuming, yeah, that's the Khmer forces over here. I wonder if we could, like, really push it and launch a counteroffensive and take out the Khmer outposts and stuff. That could be interesting. I'm kind of tempted to try that now. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll just focus on defense. But it's very interesting to think about at the moment. So yeah, they have great swordsmen there. That's really all we get to see of the Khmer so far. We have two cities. We have Oxenford and we have Londonia. Londonia. I wonder if London was actually called Londonia at some point, and I just don't know that. And it does look like we have attached territories. I'm not sure which... So this is not attached at all, actually. Okay, so yeah, we don't actually have attached territories here. We do have the ability to attach those territories if we so decide. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, though, because all that's going to do is increase our stability issues that we are not necessarily having at the moment. We're pretty good on stability. It will evolve every turn by 5% until it reaches 87. Yeah, so we're positive on stability right now. It's growing quite nicely. If we grab these, all we're going to do is increase our stability costs. We don't really gain much from them because once we're under siege, we won't be gaining resources from these regions at all. However, this would give us access... Well, I mean, we already have access to that iron, though, right? Like, we still get that anyways. Same with the marble here. If anything, these horses right here could be useful to us because we don't seem to have a source of horses right now. We do. We have one source of horses right here. Alright, so, and it looks like we do already have one linked region down here. That's what that little dotted line right there means. I don't think we're going to link these in just yet because there's really no reason to. I don't think we gain any value from doing so. I do think what we're going to do here, though, is look at our units now. We've got pikemen, we've got archers, we've got horsemen, and we've got archers. Okay. So these horsemen, I'm going to pull back here so we have some melee units to actually hold the walls in Londonia right from the start. We've also got archers there already, so we're probably set there. Over here, we just have our archers, which I'm going to move over this direction just so that we can make room for these pikemen to come back in. And then we're going to take a look at what our cities can actually produce, which is going to be important here because this is a sustained siege, right? So we can produce longbowmen here, which is great. Longbowmen are awesome units. They are going to be our archers to help us protect the city. I don't think they're emblematic units. Our knights get charged. That's something to keep in mind too. So with knights getting charged, it means we don't necessarily want to place them on the front line, and we lack the strategic resources to build more knights. Now, if we were to get a horse resource, so this resource right here, that would actually allow for us to be able to make knights. I don't know that there's much value in having knights, though, since we're primarily defensive. I think we can just focus in on our longbowmen and be fine. They're telling us about extension construction now. I don't know that extension construction is extremely important here. Oh, okay. Land units trained by the selected city will appear here. I don't actually want that. I want them to spawn there. Okay, that's fine. I'd rather them spawn there than over here, because this is our big fortified area. We're not really looking to make extensions, but you'll note right here, first thing first, that we do not have walls yet. Now, if we click here, we can go to buyout. We can't afford to buy out the walls. I think what we'll do is we'll wait till we have the money to buy out walls, and then we'll just keep making archers. That seems like a good deal in Londonia. Let's go ahead and take a look at Oxenford. And in Oxenford, do we have any fortification stuff left? There's some food, there's some production. This will make units produce faster, so the tourney field is potentially useful. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's specifically fortification related. This gives our units more XP when they're spawned, which is potentially useful as well. But once again, I don't see anything that is shouting out to me, I need this for fortification. So I'm not really going to focus on anything but archers, I think, in Oxenford for the moment. We also have the Agrarian bonus up here, gameplay orientation focused on empire growth and population abundance, and in some cases, resource efficiency. Gains access to 2 unique actions. Mother's Milk creates 1 population per territory in all of your cities, and Land of Plenty attracts 1 population for each adjacent territory in an opponent's city. These actions can be triggered once the meter is full. The gauge is filled according to your surplus food, and okay. So basically, when we get surplus food, we may want to use this. It all kind of depends on how sieging works when you're on the defensive. That's something we're kind of looking at right here. That's what this scenario, I think, is meant to test. So for the moment, I'm actually going to move our archers right here just so that they can't, like, move into our city. I don't think that works anyway. I think once they attack, they actually get pushed outside the borders of the city, so it's no big deal. But we will find out for sure here in just a moment. We do have a 4 general limit right here, which means we can have 4 more armies, and we should probably stack our armies as tall as we possibly can in this situation. We do have 1 more administrator, so if we wanted to, we could basically plant down another city. I don't know how much value there would be in that, and if I were going to do that, it would probably be by taking this area right here and planting a city down so we could get those extra horses to build knights. That being said, trying to expand when we're in the middle of a siege seems like a bad idea. I'm going to focus on defending. It is an option though, so like if we were trying to push the score on this as high as we could get it, I would be expanding over here and grabbing those horses so we can make knights. I think that would be the most beneficial way to really push the envelope in this scenario, but I'm not trying to push right now, I'm just trying to survive. Okay, we are under siege. Besieged. Your city is under siege. This could be bad. During a siege, no defender armies can move in or out of the city. Additionally, trade routes are broken, positive statuses are removed, and exploited tiles no longer produce any FIMs. Oh, so it's FIMs in this. Okay, it's FIMs. Finally, a stability malus is applied. And that means that we don't really want to add or attach any other regions because we're going to be under stability malus every time we get sieged. As the defender, you can choose between surrendering the city, enduring the siege, enduring the siege, or launching a sortie. Surrender might be a good choice if you are likely to lose the city anyway, while enduring the siege might be the best strategy if you're expecting reinforcements. Although you will lose a militia unit after several turns while you wait, note that the resolution of the siege will also depend on your opponent's tactics. They might attack immediately or wait to try and weaken you first. Click on Endure the Siege to begin with. Okay, so if we look at here, we can endure the siege. This will click this button in order to endure the siege at the cost of some stability in your city, and we can see that we're going to lose a peasant here. I'm not really sure I want to do this. I think we'd be better off sortying here, but because the tutorial is telling us to do it, I'm going to click it just to see what happens. Okay, so now we are being sieged here. Enduring a siege is the default choice if you pass the turn while being besieged. However, subject to technologies, traits, and the attacker's units, you'll lose approximately 1 militia unit every turn, and the attacker will progressively construct their siege weapons. That's what we're seeing right here. This option could be a good choice if an army can reinforce your besieged city and help to break the siege. Once the army joins the siege, you can launch a sortie. If you can't do anything, you can always surrender the city. So if we hadn't moved our knights into town already, and we were they were out here or something, we could use this to buy us a turn to get them close enough to reinforce. But we already moved them in preemptively, so we'd have some melee units here. I guess they're melee units, they're probably cavalry, but either way. I'm gonna sortie here because there's no point in us just losing a civilian for no reason when we have the defensive advantage. You've decided to launch a sortie. We are now in the siege battle mode. Any remaining militias are now available, unless they were all destroyed during a prolonged siege. to win, destroy all the opponent's units. Sounds good. Okay, so we do need to confirm our battle here. We can't retreat because we're under siege. That's good to know. And here we go. So what I want to do here is I want to think about positioning. I know we get value out of charging with our mounted units, but I also feel like they generally have an advantage as cavalry, close combat unit that ignores enemy zones of control, particularly good for running down range units. Okay, so they don't actually get a bonus against other melee units. However, our actual melee units here are peasants. Here's automatically defend your city. They don't have a ton of strength. Their strength's actually pretty low, but at the same time, we're kind of okay with them getting worn down. I think we'll pull the cavalry back. We'll put the peasants up front, and the reason for that is so that we can actually charge in with the cavalry to hit units if we need to. And then we do have 2 archers here, and I'm just going to position them to the best of my knowledge where the enemy is at, considering that the flag for them is over here. We want them kind of facing this direction so that they can shoot over the walls. Seems pretty good. I do want to put, do want to put this militia right here as well to make sure that we don't leave any openings for them to move into our walls. We should have every hex that they could use to move into the city covered, because they're not going to come up this mountain or over this mountain. Volcano? Over this volcano. Ho ho! Deployment phase. When you're satisfied with your unit placement, you can click we know this already. Okay, so we'll end deployment there. And we should have the first combat round now. So, if we zoom out a little bit, and hey, my camera control stayed. I like that. They've got this unit here that is actually in our own fortification, so attacking them with our archers means that they'll take reduced damage, and it's not really worth. I think instead we'll attack these guys. But we will attack with our archers, we will wear them down here. It is worth noting, I think we only had like 1 turn left on our archers, so if we had just endured the siege for 1 turn, we might have been able to trade a militia for an archer, and that could have had a better outcome overall. But we're not going to attack with any of our melee units here, because there's no point. Like, we want them to whelp into our walls while we shoot at them with our bows. That's really the best outcome for us right here. So we're going to end the round. They're going to do exactly that. They're going to whelp into our units who have a big defensive advantage, and still take a rather sizable amount of damage because they are just militia here. Can we move them away? We can. So we're going to move this militia back. And in exchange, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our knights here and do this. Yes. Doesn't kill them yet, so what I'm going to do first is just take a little pot shot at them here with our archers. Ba-boom. That should give them just a little more damage, and now we should be able to wipe them out. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get them, boys. Get in there. Clear those Jaguar warriors off of our fence. The big problem here with these Jaguar warriors is that they don't actually deal less damage when you've damaged them, which is probably why that militia took such heavy damage there. We go ahead and take some shots on these guys. I love how they raise their shields to block the archers. That's kind of great. These little animations are great, even though they take a second. Like, I don't know, part of me feels like, and maybe there's a setting for this. Maybe there's a setting for this. Let me check. I want to see if there's a setting for animation speed. UI. Interface size. Click to reorder construction queue. It doesn't look like there's... Is there an animation speed toggle here? No. Activate focus on next available army, autosaves, choreography timescale. Set the speed of battle animations. There we go. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let's make that 3. This is a long scenario anyway, so I want to see what 3 looks like when we do that. Shooty. Oh, that's much nicer. That's much nicer as far as being able to actually... It does feel a little bit rushed there, so actually I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I think 3 is just a little too much. Give me 2. Give me 2. 2 seems fine. Let's try 2 out. Oh, resume? Okay. So now we're just kind of waiting these guys out. We don't have any reason to rush them. They're the ones in a bad position. Yeah, that's a little bit nicer. It's faster, but it's not so fast that it feels super rushed. I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay. Ending the round again. It's interesting that ending rounds of combat doesn't actually affect the turn flow, something to keep in mind. So you get 5 rounds of combat per actual in-game turn. We're just slaughtering them. The fact that they're staying here and just taking these shots doesn't make sense to me from an AI perspective. But it is what it is, you know, they get to make their choices, and we'll perhaps say in our feedback that the AI made some bad choices here. Battle round. The 5 battle rounds are finished, but the fight is not over. If you have to left click on next turn button to keep fighting during the next 3 rounds. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna close that for a minute and make sure that we're doing everything we want to do over here as well before we actually end our turn. Moving our archers up onto that hill, getting our... Actually, I want these guys right down here. I don't think it matters until they engage us anyway, but I just want to be sure that our pikemen are in a good place to defend. We are building longbowmen there. We might consider building some stability upgrades just to help maintain our stability when they do hit us. We have enough gold now to build walls, so I'm going to actually do that in Landonia. So now Landonia, you can see our walls just upgraded. That means we should have an even greater defensive bonus because we have better fortifications. Alright. Let's go ahead, and I don't know if you should be able to buy out during siege. That does feel a little bit weird to me. You've been ransacked. Yeah, they're burning our outposts and stuff. I don't really... Congratulations, you're burning our outposts. Great job. So the idle armies here, I'm just going to have them sentry. Same here. Just go ahead and sentry. Wonder if you can actually build fortifications inside your cities to get even higher defense bonuses. That's something we'll look at next turn. Okay, we're back to this combat now. We're going to finish wiping them out with our archers. Well, that combat's over. Victory for England. Huge advantage there. 280 to 0. We just wrecked them. They do have more people coming in, and they're immediately back at the siege. This is a very gutsy move by them. Very gutsy. Very smart, to be honest. They're just going to keep the pressure on our city there, which, like I said, not a big deal. We're building bowmen. We should be able to counter that pressure pretty effectively over time. Did we actually get to finish a bowman here? If we delay for 1 turn... No, we did finish it. We did finish it. So now we have an extra bowman right here. Or we should. I can't seem to select it because we're in siege. That's okay. We'll just do a sortie here. We'll confirm the battle. And we should have 3 bowmen now? Yes, we do. Lovely. We know that they're attacking from this side this time. We can see their flag over here. So what I'm going to do is make sure that our bowmen are in good protected areas where they can hit the enemy. That might be a little bit far, but I guess we'll find out. And make sure that our horsemen are in places where they're able to charge the enemy if they need to. Should be fine right there. Let's go ahead and deploy. We may not be able to hit this from our current archer positions. We can hit them with this one, so that's fine. Boom! Beautiful. We cannot hit them from there, which makes me wonder if it's worth it to do this. It might be because these units actually do deal reduced damage once they've taken damage, so being able to get more and more hits on them does seem to make it worthwhile to pull these back. And in the meantime, our archers will gain the benefits of the defensive protection of the walls, so they could rush our archers here, do some damage. That wouldn't be great, but it's also not horrendous. And while we're at it, I want to come to Landonia and tell them to begin making more archers. Ooh. Let's see. Do we have the thing that increases experience? So we can either start building things that make our units better, or we can just build more units. And I think we're just going to build more units here. That just seems like a better overall idea. I just wanted to make sure Landonia was building stuff before we said, oh yeah, we'll end our turn now. Okay, so they're going to rush in. They are going to hit our archers. Oh, wow. They just cleared them out pretty good. That was maybe an unwise decision to move our archers right there, after all. Yeah, they're doing significant damage, even with our defenses. So I'm going to pull this archer back now, though. I'll go ahead and take a shot here. We aren't doing as much damage because this unit is heavily damaged at this point. What can we do here? I feel like this is probably our best option, but then we just kind of go even with them, and I don't think that's necessarily great. Like, we have the better defensive, so we don't want to go offensive unless we have to. Actually gonna move that horseman unit there for the moment. I'm not sure if we can move them again, but I'm hoping we can. If we can't, then that's gonna change the way that we sort of make decisions this round. They're not in cover now, so I don't know why they're not taking very much damage from our archers at all here. Seems very strange to me. Yeah, we can't move them again, so we're gonna move this unit over here. This is very, very difficult decision-wise. Definitely moving this over here. I want to move these guys back here. We can't. Can we move these guys back here? We can. All right. So let's do that. Move these guys over here. I think we need to build some pikemen for this particular city as well. We seem to be lacking on the anti-cavalry front. That being said, we're really not getting as much value out of these archers as I expected us to. Perhaps it's just because they have horsemen here. I don't know. I don't know why the cavalry are basically not taking much damage at all from the archers. I get that they're strong against arching or ranged units, but that doesn't mean that they should just, you know, not be taking damage at all from archers. That seems weird to me. 20 to 30 here is not a fair exchange. We're gonna go ahead and move like this. I mean, it is a fair exchange, but we don't want a fair exchange. We want an advantage. Keep shooting. Maybe they take a little more because we didn't move. No, they're only taking 6, and I don't know why. Like, the combat strength difference is not that high. Okay. They're not charging. The combat strength difference is not that great. I don't know why we're not doing as much damage here. Behind walls, supplied, in city. We click on them, they're just damaged. I guess they do have slightly higher combat strength, so in a way that makes sense, but we're just barely kind of plinking away at them. I think this will be fine over time, too. Like, I really do think that as we go on with these units, we're gonna basically be able to overwhelm them with our archers. They do have quite a few horses here, and we're really kind of running into that as a major issue. It may actually be worth the... We would take more damage than them here, as we would here. So we're not going to attack, because attacking is just going to cost us more. And of course, they're going to run around and hit our weaker units, which makes sense. I'd do the same thing if I was them. There, they just whelp into our horsemen, which is fine. Archers on these guys, please. They are not making this siege easy on us, that is for sure. Okay. That was actually a really, really solid hit. Let's pull these guys back and finish them with horsemen. Get them. Okay. That should end the battle. Alright, that was great. That ended the battle. I don't know how healing works, or whether our units just heal over time when they're in our capital, or how that, you know, how that works at all. I understand that we should be merging armies. Let's go ahead and merge these ones up. I don't know that we want to build another archer after all. I think we may actually want to prioritize getting some pikemen. Can I move these guys up in the queue? Yes, I can. Beautiful. There we go. That seems a lot better to me. We need some pikemen here to help fend off horsemen, and our peasants are dying relatively quickly there, and I'm not a fan of that. Over here in Oxenford, our construction is primarily longbowmen. We already have some pikemen here, though. Yeah, 3 pikemen. So we don't need to worry as much about making sure that we get anti-cavalry units. It may be worthwhile to start queuing up some swordsmen, but I would rather get a good, volley of archers ready to go first. So I think we're okay having maybe one more archer in queue, and then going after a couple swordsmen. That seems like a good build. Alright. 2 idle armies. You guys are going to sentry here. Sleep until healed. This action is not implemented. Are you... Okay. So we can't sleep until healed.
Keeping watch.
I guess we can skip turn and hope they heal a little bit. But I wonder if, like, they haven't decided on the healing values or something, and that's why healing's just not in this scenario. That's fine, though. I mean, oh, they're sieging us here now. Okay. Oh, here we go. Let's do it again. Is that an elephant? Did y'all just see an elephant? Okay. Oh, boy. An elephant unit with gunner, a ton of movement, a ton of range, and 42 strength. That's going to be problematic. Widespread use of war elephants in the Khmer region hits in apogee with the development of multiple crossbow elephant artillery. Oh boy. That's not going to be fun to deal with. Here, though, we're in a pretty decent spot. We don't need reinforcements. We're just kind of fine here. Let's go ahead and confirm our battle. We do want our archers in the 2 highest spots, so right here. And then we actually have a few extra units here. Are these peasants or pikemen? These are peasants. I'd rather have my pikemen here than my peasants. And where are our archers? 1 archer, 2 archer.
That isn't possible.
And I guess we have to put these guys like outside the... Well, we can't. We can't put them outside the wall. Can we swap them for an archer, though? That's my main thing, is I want to be able to use this archer right here, not this peasant. Okay. Let's go ahead and end deployment here. And it looks like we are forced to use the peasant here, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Let's do this. Let's start with our archer. Oh wow, that is a lot of units right there. That is a very, very large number of units. It's not good at all. Okay, but we do, it looks like, have access to our longbowmen here, so that's fine. That's actually pretty nice. They also have units like right up on our gates here, which is problematic. Let's go ahead and hit these guys just so that we can reduce any damage they do to our artillery in the form of our archers. We do have a group of peasants here that can also hit them. There's no path to the destination. That's probably because they're in reserve. So I assume when they're in reserve, there isn't really a path for them to get there to hit anything. And here we have no positive hits, so we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait, force them to attack us. Oh wow, they have archers everywhere. This is very, very tense. Very, very tense. Kinda digging it though. We're getting the better of this fight so far. Their horsemen can't really get in because of their melee units being here. So we're able to basically take advantage of their poor unit placement. I'd like to have my bowman, please. Thank you. And with my bowman, I would like to shoot their ranged guys to vastly reduce their damage, because we get a bonus for being on higher ground, so we do a little bit more damage there. Here, we're going to go ahead and probably nail these guys. We don't want to kill these because that's just going to let their horsemen in, and I don't really intend to let their horsemen in. Here, our peasants can actually finish off the Jaguar Warrior. They will take some losses, but it does mean the Jaguar Warriors won't be able to attack this hex that has our archers on it, so that makes it kind of worth it. Alright, so that seems like a good way to deal with that one, and they are 2 separate combats, so we will have to go over to the other side and do our combat there as well in a moment. So let's end round here. At any point, if I wanted to, I could just turn on auto battle here, but I don't want to do that here because I think that we're going to get more value out of managing it ourselves. Oh yeah, they're just whelping into our pikemen now, which is great. Now these horsemen should come charging into the walls. That being said, they are fighting pikemen with a defensive advantage, so there we can see the difference in having our pikemen here. Like, it really does just make a huge, huge difference to have our pikemen here. We can finish off their crossbowmen right there, quite nice, and then help out our pikemen with some more archers up here. So we don't need more archers in this particular city, we just need to take advantage of what's already here. If we do this, I don't think we're actually losing that much health for the kill here, but I think we'd lose even less if they swing into us, so I'm not going to force them to attack there. I keep wanting to switch to the other battle, but I think it's better now just to focus on finishing this one. We actually took 9 damage there, so we may have taken a little more waiting for the defensive bonus, but I don't think that's the case. 40 to 50 damage here should bring them about to halfway. They're a little bit over half now. We can't hit them with our other unit, obviously. Can we hit these guys? We cannot. Yeah, they're way, way too far away. So for this city, it might actually be beneficial to build an extension onto here so that we can put another archer unit out. That would actually be a really good idea, I think. We may do that with this city. In fact, I might just... I can click out of here, right? Let me close this for a moment. Let's go to Oxenford. Reach the maximum number of quarters, you need more population or to attach new territories. We can get more population with our equestrian or our agrarian bonus, so we're going to do that so that we can put another thing right there, which will give us another archer spot. That's something we're going to be utilizing soon, but not right now for obvious reasons. So we're done with this round because we're not diving out of our cover to go fight with them. And our longbowman has hit the first level of veterancy here. That is what that 1 next to the 3 stars means. Having higher veterancy gives them a higher attack bonus, as you can see. So we get 1 additional attack from that. Gonna go ahead and take these guys down a notch. Seems good. End the round, and that is them for this turn. Let's go over to this side. We are not actually in battle on this side quite yet. We're getting closer to our pikemen being done. That's just 1 turn away. We've got our knights. They do seem to have recovered nicely. How about our crossbowmen? They're seemingly recovering a little bit of health. It looks like maybe that's the gain we get before next turn. So I think we're okay here. We don't need to expand this city. We have tons and tons of hexes already. In fact, with this city, we have so many hexes that it's actually hard for us to cover all of our edges, and that's kind of problematic. Versus over in this city where we just need a few more. I do think, though, that we're ready to sentry here and end our turn. Alright. Oof. Now we're being sieged on this side again. This is definitely a battle, y'all. Definitely a battle. It's kind of cool. Wrong archer. I want that archer. Kill him. Beautiful. We'll wait. Are they just not going to bring that... I'm not sure why they're not bringing that horseman in, but we do actually have the range to hit it, so let's hit it. I didn't realize we could hit that from that far. I didn't think that would be a thing, but if we can hit it, we're going to hit it. Now I feel kind of dumb, because if we... Well, I think we get one more round. Yeah, we do. That'll kill him. That'll kill him. That'll end this fight. That means that we start generating FIMs again, which means that we can finish some of our other things. If we go here, Mother's Milk, for each of your cities, add a number of population equal to the number of territories owned by the city. Once triggered, this action will be available again after fulfilling the agrarian blah, blah, blah thing. So in this instance, we did have victory here, which is great. But if we look at Oxenford, this is for each equal to the number of territories owned by the city. This city only owns a single territory, so I don't know why this is saying +3. Maybe it has a minimum of +1. Let's go ahead and hope that's the case, and we'll just trigger it and see. It is the case. It's a minimum of +1. We got 2 over in our other city. But the important thing for Oxenfree is that should give us the ability... No. Okay. It looks like we require additional population here. So what I would have liked to have done if I would have known that it was going to take more than 1 to actually build another district here, I would have gone ahead and attached one of these regions with some gold, which would have allowed us to get 2 population here, which would have allowed us to go ahead and make that. Since I didn't know that, that didn't really happen. That's okay. I'm sure there's some kind of indicator somewhere. I'm just not sure where it is at the moment. And if we go over to this side where we're being sieged, we're going to want to sortie again. All right, let's do it. Let's just go. Let's sortie here. We're going to confirm the battle. They obviously have some scary reinforcements over here. I believe that elephant crossbowman thing was one of their reinforcements, and that's not a good thing. We do know that they're primarily attacking from this side, though, so we're going to go ahead and put our horsemen over there. We're going to set our archers up to be able to capitalize on our horsemen being over there. That should be pretty good right there. And we've learned that we do not want to frontline our archers ever. Like, it's just not a good deal here. At least not if they have cavalry. What does this unit count as? It's a gunner, not cavalry. That's important to keep in mind. It can move and fire. So I think we'd actually be okay putting our archers frontline here if we needed to, just to hit a target. We're obviously not doing a ton of damage against them, even though we have the high ground. They have tree cover, that's why. Okay, tree cover and building cover, that's fine. So let's go after the gunners first. Primarily because we can reduce the damage that they deal. And gunners are very, very effective at applying their damage to any unit they so choose, pretty much. I think you can body block them, though. So they might not be able to hit anything but our knights here, but they do apply a good amount of damage. Range combat units must have line of sight. Fights at full combat strength, even when defending against close combat attacks. So that's sort of why I want to bring their combat down. Do they ignore damage, though? Because I don't think they do. I think that would be kind of weird if you consider that the Jaguar Warriors have that as a special trait. I could be wrong, though. I mean, we have damaged them a little bit. They don't seem to be showing any penalties for being damaged, so I guess we'll figure that out. Units are awaiting your orders. End round. Okay, here they come. We're going to take a hillside here and go after our archers, which makes sense. Wow, that hurts. That hurts a lot. Wow. I'm actually blown away by how much they hurt us with that. That was not at all good. Okay, so that is a bit of a problem. They're not showing any reduction in power based on being damaged. So here I think our goal is to maximize the damage output of our crossbowmen, or longbowmen rather. Yeah. Not going to be able to do that too effectively. We're getting 5 to 10 damage here from our archers, no matter what we do. So that's another 9. They should be at about health. Okay, so they are losing combat strength due to damage. That's a plus. Keep hitting the gunners. The gunners are the biggest threat on their side of the field right now. They need to die. Lovely. And we do have some pikemen now, so what I'm going to do is look at ways to open... For example, I'm going to move that there, and then see if we can get our pikemen to sort of rush over here and hit these guys. So we're still taking more damage than they are if we attack, so we're just going to defend here. And we may have a little bit of an issue, but I think we can shore that up right there. Yeah, this blows me away right here. I guess they have a higher combat strength. Oh, because they have higher ground here. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. The fact that they have higher ground right outside of our walls definitely helps them more than it helps us. Yeah. Not much we can do here except for wait it out. Wait it out and see what happens. I could be more effectively using the charge. Like that's something we may need to work on here if we're going to survive later rounds. Of course, the gunners are going to shoot our archers here. They did not kill them, though, which is good. They're going to use their melee units to come after our pikemen here so that our pikemen can't devastate their horsemen. Makes sense. The good news is, though, that their horsemen are no longer on a higher ground, which means that, in theory, we can pull this unit back. We can do this, and we should come out on top there. Can I not see stats? No, but I can see the bars up top. Okay, that's within variance. We're gonna come out on top here for sure, so we're gonna do that. Might actually kill them, which we did. Very nice. Here, we're going to probably continue to hit their gunners. Yeah, we're just going to continue to work on those gunners, since they provide a huge, huge advantage to them. One that we're not willing to accept or tolerate here. We need to get rid of them. And then what else do we have here to go with? Got a horseman here that I think can charge in and do some pretty good damage. That puts us even. We get the better of that exchange by charging. Seems like a good deal, but it does not kill them. Let's do it. If we lose this knight, it's worse than losing a melee unit because we can't build more knights. And now I'm really feeling like we should have tried to take that extra territory to gain the ability to make, you know, knights. Because either that or we just need to really, really protect our knights here. Probably shouldn't have done that. I was trying to protect our knights. Instead, what I did was basically sacrifice a peasant army there. Look at that. How are we that seems unreal to me. I guess the high ground makes that big of a difference. Let's go ahead and end our round here. Gunner's gonna finish off one of our archers. They're gonna whelp into our knights here. They do manage to kill peasants. That wasn't a great outcome for us. Keep working on that gunner. That gunner needs to die. I'm tempted now to rush down the gunner with one of our knights, but I also know that that's a really bad idea for us to expose a knight since we can't replace them. Yeah, that seems like a very bad idea. Instead... Instead, what I want to do is bring these guys over here just so that we have another defensive wall. I want to swap our knight up with these guys so that they are whelping into our peasants at the very least. And then I suppose we could even pull this knight back. But if we do that, we will leave one of our hexes open so that they can move into the city. I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather force them to... If they want to come into the knights, they can come into the knights. That's fine. Let's do that. Okay. This is getting a lot tougher. Their siege is definitely not slowing down. Let's put it that way. Definitely not slowing down. That's almost enough to kill them, but not quite. I'm gonna try using the veteran unit first. Didn't do it. Finish them with that. All right, that's good. We're going to arrange a swap here. How we do that is going to be a little bit complicated. We go here, and I guess we'll just have to do that. Still leaving one of our city hexes open unless we bring these guys over here, which is probably a good idea. We do still have one city hex open. There's no way to vend that, but if they try to come all the way around there, they're not going to make it, obviously. Okay, so they whelp into some more peasants. Seems fine. That's the end of this combat for 5 rounds. Jeez, that was intense though, guys. That was very intense. Over here on Oxenfree, we are building another longbowman, who we may not actually be able to utilize now that I think about it. So what I think we want is more population. To increase our population, we need to increase our food gains. So what I think we're going to do here is focus in on getting some more food. This gives us more food per adjacent river on exploited tiles. There's only one tile that, and that's not a river, that's actually just a boundary. Okay, so we have no rivers whatsoever per number of territories, so this would just be a flat 4 food. That's industry. Plus 2 food per number of the same, repeatable on city center. 3 turns to complete. This is, I think, the best option we have, and I'm just going to throw that at the top of the queue. Throw it at the top of the queue. I might even buy it out here. I'm considering it. But that may not be the best thing. Oh, we lost this territory too, so now we don't even have a single horse, I think. No, we do. We have 1 horse. We have 1 horse, but they did capture that territory. We never had that territory. That's right. We had this territory, right? Or did we have this? No, we had this because we had marble. I think I should have attached this right away so that we'd have the ability to build knights, and that was the mistake. It also would have given us another population here when we use the Agrarian bonus. So that's something that I would do differently if I was you going through the scenario, and you guys can let me know if your results vary with that. Yeah. In this instance, there's really nothing we can do here except for maybe combine our archers, which is a good idea. And end our turn. You guys are free to sentry here. Alright, and then we get to continue our siege over here in Londonia. I'm really disappointed that they killed that archer. My goal here was to get our archers to veterancy as high as they possibly could be, since they're providing the majority of like our artillery fire, and it actually works out quite well with them doing that. I mean, if we go like this, we just end the fight, right? I feel like that's worth. Let's just end the fight. There we go. So it is okay to kind of make those dashes out when it's going to end the fight. It might have even been worth it to dash out and kill the other guys. Are they already sieging again? How in the... Okay. Well then. That's problematic. They're already sieging again. I feel like we might be better off enduring here. We will lose 1 civilian, but we'll also gain, if I'm understanding this correctly, another pikeman, which seems like a good idea. Let's do that. And then Oxenford is kind of doing its own thing, which is fine at the moment. Is there another territory for us to attach? There kind of is, but attaching this territory doesn't actually benefit us that much at this point. And this is only going up by 1%. Londonia, on the other hand, is going down by 5% right now. We're running into stability issues rather quickly here in Londonia, and that's because we're constantly under siege. Okay. I don't think we have a choice, though. I think we need to at least wait out a turn here. That is going to make some problems for us, because we're not ending these sieges very quickly. That scared me. When everything kind of washed over in white like that, I was like, did we just lose our city from civil unrest? They only actually took half the health off of one of our guys there, so that works out okay. Confirm the battle. We should have another archer now. Or rather, another pikeman. We do not want anybody stuck outside the city. That's not a good place to be. It is worth noting that if we build too many units here, we could be in trouble because we'll end up having to shove units outside of the city. Thankfully, we do have some hexes right here that we can put those extra units in if we need to. So what we do is we put our pikemen up front, and we should have another pikeman now. We do. This pikeman is injured though, and I'm not really fond of the idea of losing them, so I think we'll put them right there. And then our veteran archers we can put over here. Can we protect our horsemen though? Not really. We can't really protect our horsemen here either. Just not a good place to be in general. Yeah, let's go ahead and Archie, we can't hit them. We can hit these guys. They have 2 reinforcements that'll come out of here, and it's almost tempting to just rush a peasant over here. Of course, we don't know if they actually have anything on that reinforcement hex, so if we do that, there's a very good chance we just lose the peasant. And that's a pikeman we'd be putting at risk there, which doesn't feel good either. Do we risk a peasant to try to squash the reinforcement hex? I think we do. Go, peasant, go. Alright, so they're now standing on that reinforcement hex. It means they can't actually reinforce there, which is great. I will take it. That's a great, great thing for us right now. They can fight that unit, kill it, get it off there, but if they do so, they're also going to expose themselves, and then maybe we can run them down. For right now, though, we're going to be using our archers to do as much damage as we can to these fortified guys over here. There we go. Seems good. They do look to have a set of pikemen of their own back there, which means when those guys get close, we really need to pull our knights back. I'm actually tempted to see if we can just finish these guys here. No. Okay. So if we can't finish them there, there's no reason to run in on that. I'm just going to end the round and see what they do. Okay, so they didn't actually kill our guys that are blocking their reinforcements. That's good for us. That actually worked out really, really well for us. Here come the horsemen. Okay. So we know for a fact they have horsemen units coming in. There's one right here. There's also one back here. Controlling that reinforcement point didn't do as much for us as I would have liked it to do, but it did something. The question is, who do we gain the most benefit from hitting with our archers at this particular point? Also, it is of great benefit for us to swap these two somehow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this unit back. I'm going to push this unit over here. That's going to put them here to block these horsemen. I'm going to... That seems like a really good trade, actually. Let's do that. That kills them. And now our archers... I mean, we could have spared health there by using our archers on those units instead. But here our archers can actually take out these pikemen or do significant damage to these pikemen so that when they do close, they won't be able to hurt our horse units, which is actually super important right now. If we move here, we can hit them with this one as well, which is what we want. Have another shot. Alright, so now that was only 9 damage, because they are in trees here, I believe. Yeah. But at the same time, they took pretty good damage there. They're at about 60 health. They're already, losing combat strength, which is what we're after. Right here, there's no reason for us to attack into them. We want them to attack into us. They're still going to gain the advantage attacking into us because of the height right there, which is really annoying, if I'm being honest. Like, that just seems kind of garbage in a lot of ways. And I mean, it is what it is, right? I guess what we could have done is we could have rushed an extension right here so that we would have at least one hex that's on even ground with these units, but then they'd still have a height advantage here. Like, bottom line, don't build your city in the valley. That's what we've learned by this particular scenario. We could do this. What kind of value would that give us? That's pretty good value. But we already know they have a horseman unit here that could come in and try to sweep in and deal with our horsemen then, and they could get the high ground here. So it's kind of a trap. It's kind of a trap. If we go for that, we basically... Yeah, that's not good. We're not doing that. Alright, let's end the round here. See how this goes. They're, like, really throwing everything they have at Londonia right now. This is intense. Yeah, that was a pretty close exchange. Of course, they're going to use their horsemen to run down and hit the place we don't have pikemen at. That makes sense, though. Good on them. Good on them. Okay. Now we need to make the highest impact we can with our veteran archers here, which is probably right there. That's pretty good high impact shot too. What about you guys? What can you do? 5 to 15. Yeah, that's not going to hack it. Let's go here with our archers to get the most impact out of their damage. And also hit them with this, potentially finish them off. Didn't quite kill them, that's unfortunate. And then in the meantime... I like how the game's just like, that's death. Just so you know, that's death. This is actually a very good trade for us. We're gonna take that. I don't feel like it's good to move our horsemen over there, so I'm gonna move this unit here, pull this unit back, and maybe go for this. Oh yeah, that is a great trade for us right here. Just a great trade. It seems like the main thing is that we need to ensure that we're keeping, you know, the proper flow of different types of units being built. That's what it all comes down to. As long as we're creating the right types of units, we're able to get good value. Here we're not getting any good value out of these peasants. In fact, we may actually pull them back in a minute because I don't know how many reinforcements we're holding off. I guess we're holding off the bowmen here. Actually surprises me that they haven't tried to free those reinforcements at all. We could do something crazy with our horsemen here. Don't think that's necessarily warranted. That's pretty good right there. That is pretty good. We know they have one more horseman unit, though. They could double up on our horsemen, do significant damage, and prevent us from actually being able to build more knights, which would be problematic for obvious reasons. That's tough. That's very tough. That's pretty promising, but we're still not going to kill them if we do that. We could do this and then finish them with one of these units. I don't know if that's actually worth, though. No, that's death. Okay. We have the defender's advantage, we're going to use it. Oof, they're starting to wear our units down pretty good, though. Starting to wear our units down very good here. I like that they retreated with that horseman, though. Like, they know what's up. Let's kill these guys first, just so that we don't have to worry about them taking out our horsemen with pikemen. And then for this guy, you have pikemen here that can finish him off pretty easily. Let's do that. Veteran shoots the Jaguar warriors. They should be running in with a horseman this very round, so I kind of want to move this unit here to make sure that that's protected. Move this peasant over here to protect that, and then our horseman goes right here. We have to protect these borders, because they're about at the point where they can push through them. They do have another horseman unit we know is coming in, and that's the worst part about this, is that their horsemen are so capable of getting good hit and run damage here. Oh, we still took a significant hit there. That's just straight up death right there anyway. We do take 5 to 10 damage here. That would potentially kill them. They'll barely survive. I think we do this. If we can just buy ourselves a large enough window to build some units and recover, that would be sort of the ideal outcome here. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be a brilliant outcome for us. Here we kind of have to rush them down with our horsemen. We don't have a better option. We can't move after the attack, though, so they are exposed, and there's not a whole lot we can do about that, other than potentially moving this unit up here. Don't think that's a good choice, though. Battle will continue next turn. Yeah, it will. We've only lost 3 peasants so far, though. We've done pretty good as far as, like, preserving units goes. We should be generating another population here in 2 turns. They are sieging us now, though, but all they've got to siege us over here... Oh my gosh, they have a war elephant. Okay. I was gonna say all they've got to see just over here, and then I see the war elephant. Yeah, the war elephant is a problem. So where are they spawning from? They're spawning from down below, which creates some problems for our archers in being able to apply their damage effectively, because we probably will not be able to shoot over this mountain. I strongly suspect shooting over the mountain is not something that's going to happen. Let's do that, maybe? Yeah, that seems okay. This is, yeah, oof. Tough choices. Tough choices. I'm gonna go there because we can move them onto the forest right there, give them cover from range fire. Oh boy, okay. Well, height advantage there actually lets our peasants do a considerable amount of damage. I like that. They did not go where I expected them to go at all. While I understand that decision on their parts, I am not exactly excited about that, because it does mean that we're going to probably get hurt pretty bad here, and I don't know if we can hit this guy. Oh, we actually can. Wait, I thought we were going to get a lot more damage on those guys because we had the height advantage, but I guess not. I guess the game was just teasing. Just teasing. Just giving me the impression we were going to get a much better outcome than we did. Yeah, none of that is good. None of that is good. None of that is good. Okay. Well. Ain't that remarkable. I mean, we could send a force to sweep around behind. Wonder if the... So if we capture that, we also win. But capturing that doesn't end the battle, from my understanding. Otherwise, I would legitimately consider just rushing a unit around the back like that. It's crazy to me that we have the height advantage here and it doesn't account, or doesn't amount to anything, really. I'm gonna move here so that they are at least in forest and capable of being stomped to death by an elephant, because that's what's gonna happen. Here we may want to move them back next round. That probably would have been the best outcome, to move these guys back. It is what it is. Let's see what happens. Okay, they're gonna go around the other side with their gunners. That was unexpected. Kind of glad that we didn't move these guys out into the open now. Well, our peasants are not having a good time. That much I can ensure. These guys should be able to shoot from here for some considerable damage. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Put them down, boys. Put them down. Get this archer up here. Get 30 to 40 there. 5 to 15 there. Obviously going to get the 30 to 40. Let's move our peasants in here and see if we can make use of our height advantage with our pikemen here, which we can. Still not a great trade with the swordsman, but it is a better trade than, you know, anything else we have available to us. Here we may actually just pull our peasants back, because there's literally no way for them to trade positively here. And we had another archer way back here that I didn't even see, which is my fault for being a spaz, but the good news is we can at least move them in and potentially get some damage. Okay. Peasants, please run back. Pikemen, feel free to... That's not going to finish them. That's not going to finish them. We're going to take excessive damage. Let's use our veterans to shoot these guys. Are these considered cavalry? No, they're just gunners. So that's kind of interesting that the elephant units are considered gunners and not cavalry, so we can't use anti-cavalry against a giant mounted elephant. Doesn't make a ton of sense to me, personally. I think that's kind of silly. I don't know if they need, like, a subdivision of cavalry, like a cavalry gunner or something, would seem more sensible here. I think sensible is the best word. If we move these guys here, we at least protect our peasants, which I'm not opposed to. Let's do that. Okay, end our round. Oh, they're gonna move them back. They're like, nah, we're gonna move back here. Oh, because they had an open shot on our pikemen. That's not fun. Yeah, they're really... Oh, they killed him. They killed our pikemen. How dare you? How dare you? Now you've made us angry. I'm just kidding. They're gonna wreck us here if we don't, like, kill this gunner thing as quickly as possible. And we can't even get, like, relatively good damage on it. I don't know that we even have a unit that can effectively damage this gunner. It literally, so far it's been a lot of paper, rock, scissors of like, oh, we need to use this unit against that unit, and that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the fact that their gunners are basically invulnerable, and we have, like, no way. We can't make our own gunners. Like, they not only have a massive unit advantage, they're not only sieging us, they also have a technology advantage. So basically, they just have every advantage. Which is silly to me because if this were treated as a cavalry, which it should be, like, realistically, these are great until a pikeman jabs a spear into the underarm of the elephant and the elephant freaks out and throws them off. Like, that's a realistic interaction, right? There's nothing unrealistic about that. Except for the fact that we actually can't create that interaction because this is not a cavalry. We could, I suppose, get cover here and shoot at them. They are still going to take reduced damage because they're in cover, and then they could just rush us. Although because they're just considered a gunner, they don't get the advantage against ranged units, so maybe we do this. Which is silly. I'm literally rushing a unit with my archer, because that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Oh, that was, completely understandable. That made a ton of sense. Man, alright then. I see how this works. The gunner is OP. See, now normally this is where I'd go, okay, pikemen, rush in there and get them, but look at the damage we take with our pikemen. There's no value in attacking with our pikemen. The best we can do against these elephants is to try to survive.
That's not possible.
Like how they just took it to a lower elevation and it still does a ridiculous amount of damage. And I get it, it's a gunner. Elevation doesn't affect them the same way, that's fine, but like, that not being cavalry is actually legitimately frustrating. Okay. Over here, we're done for the turn. Let's do it. Hey, we're actually gonna get a chance to move these guys back in, which is good. We could move off of this hex and allow them to put their crossbowmen out, and then just rush them down with our horsemen. That's not a bad idea, but it's also not a particularly safe idea, so I'm not going to do it. What I am going to do is pull this unit back right now, because there's really no reason to have it frontlining. If they do manage to get something into the city here, then we have, you know, some issues, but I'd rather not lose the pikemen here. That feels like a much bigger loss. Okay, let's do that. No, nothing? You guys just gonna hang back now? Have we sufficiently suppressed your siege, then? Good riddance. Okay, over here we have a population in one turn. That's what we're waiting for. Please be enough pop for us to build an extension. And we're under siege again. Okay, well that's good. So I'm gonna back out of this because I do want to check Oxenford and see... Yeah, so now we can build an extension. So I think that what we were supposed to do was we were supposed to connect this region to this region using gold, which would have allowed us to then generate 2 population the first time we activated this, which would have allowed us to place another extension right there, which would have given us another fortified position. Although now I'm thinking because of where this is located, we actually don't need a fortified position here. We'd probably be better off building a fortified position either here or over here. Potentially even actually right here makes the most sense. Because that does give us even or high ground. Versus this being a sort of choke point that provides them a high ground advantage unless we take that hex. So what I'm gonna do is, and like we have to do this siege first, like that's gotta happen first. Because we can't build while we're being sieged, which is fine. That makes a ton of sense. Let's go ahead and swap these. And then we're gonna go, no. Give me my archer. Give me my archer. Thank you. It's one archer. Where's our other archer? Let's put that archer over here. Oh, we can't. We can't because that's not technically a city hex. Okay, that's fine then. I don't think we can do anything else. It does look like we're shy one archer, and I don't know how. Unless they're in here, maybe? Because we didn't lose an archer last fight, and we had 3. And now we seem to not. So we have our veteran archer to start with. Let's go ahead and have our veteran archer... Just do that. Sure. We have this archer, which is going to wear them down. Makes sense. And then we have one more archer somewhere? We don't. So I'm not sure where that archer that was up here came from. I don't know if that was like a weird random reinforcement or what the deal is, but we seem to not have them now, which is also kind of weird. We do have swordsmen here. We can kind of rush. That's a great swordsman. That's a great swordsman. We could rush right here. We would take significantly more damage than they would. Is always, you know, ideal. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this unit back to high ground. And we're just going to hold this area. And I'm going to hope, beyond hope, that we have another archer here that somehow disappeared. Let's go ahead and put another peasant unit right here just so that they can't wrap around. Now if we check our reserves here, we have 2 pikemen. No, that's not the reserves. Alright, so we do have 2 pikemen though, and they're in the best possible places they can be. Can pikemen attack from a hillside? They can't. Okay. You can't blame me for trying, guys. It would have been funny if we could just stand on that hill and, like, stab down at them. Okay, so I'm going to end my round here, and then what I'm going to do next turn is try to move our archers off of this hex and see if that does allow us to reinforce with another archer. So far, this is like, yeah, we're taking a little bit of damage, but we're using our defensive bonus here effectively, and that is paying off big time for us. We do have 2, and I think we do have a second longbowman there now. Okay. So that was the problem. Shooty shooty. At least it appears we do. Yes, we do. Shooty shooty. Definitely getting value out of our veteran bonus here. Shooty shooty. We should now be able to kill every one of their units without suffering losses. But with suffering extensive damage, so we're just going to let them whelp into us. There's legitimately 0 reason for me to attack them here. There's quite a bit of reason for me to allow them to attack us. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. Oxenford is good now. We do get to build one more extension. We can build a stronghold, which increases the range by 2 for ranged units standing on it. Replaces a castle. Oh, I think that actually... Oh no, we get to pick a tile. Alright then. I really like the idea of us getting a stronghold here and putting one of our veteran archers on it. I think that's a very, very big win for us. I also think that our swordsmen here in Oxenford haven't done a whole lot for us. So while oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. So while I'm glad to have them, I'm also not... It's only 369 to rush that as well. So we may just rush that next turn. Provided, you know, they don't siege us immediately and prevent us from doing so. We did gain population there, which we've already discovered. Over in Londonia, my biggest concern is our stability. And I think one thing we can do is... Oh, we can't. We can't move more people into stability. That's not an option. We need to build a stability improvement here as quickly as possible. Obviously, we won't be able to do that until this siege ends, though. And more, it's seeming like this is a very good opportunity for us to just take out their crossbowmen. We know they have another unit here, but for whatever reason, they're not really utilizing them? It seems like a trap. It really does. No, I'm not taking the bait. We'll wait them out. That does mean they'll just be able to siege us again next turn. Yeah, they're already sieging again. Which is also kind of nonsensical, because it means that we can't... Like, even though we killed most of their units, just because they have one unit left out there, we can't actually recover our city stability at all. Which is kind of crap, in my opinion. Okay, so... At least we only have to finish off this melee unit. I think, as of right now, we do also need to obviously block their reinforcements here, but we can do that very, very easily like this. Okay, reinforcements are blocked. No reinforcements for you. And now we just have to wear down their Jaguar warriors. Our stability here is actually, like, legitimately worrying me, because we're gonna get to 0 relatively soon, and at that point, we're kind of in trouble. Okay, so... that is kind of worth. Yeah, that's worth. Kill them. And then we really need to start shooting into these pikemen so that they can't deal significant damage to our horsemen when they get here. In order to do that, we're going to have to potentially put our archers at risk here for a moment, though, because we have to pull this unit back so that we can get all 3 into range to defend, unless... That feels just as dumb, though, to do that. I think what we'll do is this. We move here, do we have a shot? We don't. Okay, so that was actually a mistake, too. I am making lots and lots of fun mistakes here. That's not. Alright, let's get into range here to hit this. There we go. That's how we need to do. We got through most of their toughest units. Oh boy, that's not good. Oh, no. My veterans. My veterans hurt so bad. Okay, well... that was the risk that we were concerned about taking. I should have looked at their units. I'm probably able to see that they had horsemen back there somewhere, but it is what it is. At this point, we're just trying to survive, so... we go here, we're still taking a pretty massive loss. There's really nothing we can do about that. On the other hand, if we place these as defensive units, at least we gain some value out of it, and we can go ahead and shoot these guys with archers. So we're going to do that. Really, really need my veterans to heal, though. Wait. Okay. So that is correct, right? It's telling me that we take 5 to 10 and they take 55 to 65. Provided this works like it's saying it's going to work, that's actually a good trade for us. Oh yeah, okay. And here we kill them. Do it. Yeah, spear those horse. Alright. They got more pikemen, though. Okay. Here we have a couple different choices. I'm going to go ahead and move this unit forward so that we can bring our veterans in over here. As long as we can, like, regain some health on our veteran unit, I think we're going to be fine here, but so far it's been monumentally difficult to just weather this storm. Like, I'm not even sure how... 1 second, guys. There we go. Okay, so we've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes here. I wasn't even sure about that. I was just like, man, this has been taking a second. Let's move these guys back into town so we can get them safe. Oh, hey, look at that. Our pikemen are veterans now as well. It'd be really nice if we could actually heal them, but that as we've seen, that's not something that's going to happen in this particular scenario. I do still think they heal a little bit over time per turn, you know? But right now we're not getting much value out of that. Yes, please damage them significantly. Beautiful. We have 2 veteran archers now, which is great. We're gonna let those 2 do their damage first and then try to kill them with this 3rd archer and hope for a veteran star. Come on, baby. No? No veteran star. Okay. So we get victory here. Landonia is not in a good place, though. We really, really need to increase our stability. For number of the same, repeatable in city center. Number of territories, that'll actually give us some extra stability right there. We go ahead and put that at the top. We could rush it with gold, potentially, but I don't think that that's a good idea. What I do think is a good idea is for us to massively increase our industry, if possible. That's going to take it down to 4 turns. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. I don't even know why we have people in science. Like, science is absolutely 0 use to us right here. I'm not sure what we're researching. Oh, we are researching heavy infantry, so I guess it's not absolutely 0 use for us. We could have gone heavier into that. That probably would have been good. Yeah, that probably would have been beneficial. Merge cities. That could have been very useful, too. Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting because there were a couple different ways we could have handled this. We could have gone into science and then pushed for merging cities, and that would have been good as well. Here we could also go -8 population and just finish this. But I don't think that's worth. I think that's a lot of population to give up. Okay, yeah, you guys are going to defend here. You're going to defend here as well. End our turn. And we're being sieged again. And they are just in range to be involved in the siege. That's great. Alright, well, here's what we're gonna do. We know they're coming in with archers first, so we're gonna kill the archers. We're just gonna frontline all of our horsemen. Gonna backline our pikemen here. Put peasants in some of the wall spots, and make sure that our archers can hit stuff. Okay, so that is a big, big win right there. But we could also get as much of a win while maintaining our defensive advantage, just by kind of taking some shots on these guys. We can hit them with all 3 of our archers, which is excellent. Yeah. Oh, we got 2 veterancy stars on this archer now. That's awesome. And it does look like they gained a little bit of health here. So did these guys. So yeah, we are gaining health back bit by bit. Very, very important, though. Not worth rushing out to kill this guy, I don't think. Maybe. Does leave him in the open. No, that's not worth. That's just trading a bunch of damage for functionally nothing. It's not worth. That was a much nicer trade right there than anything we would have gotten by rushing out. Here we may be finding it worthwhile to rush out, especially with the crossbowmen hitting our backline. That's actually really problematic for us right here. Okay. You just keep on whelping. Alright, so here... this starts to get a little bit more difficult to make decisions, right? Because they're able to hit our backline with that guy, he's gotta go. Like, that unit has to die right now. And the real question comes down to how. So let's see. That seems pretty obvious. I hate to abandon our fortification here, but we need to kill that to save the pikemen. God, even with the height advantage, these units are just useless. Let's do this. Let's vastly weaken them. Come on, game. Let me do what I want to do. There we go. Okay, so we did have to take all of our knights out of the castle here. We give up quite a bit here to do this, but at the same time, this seems very, very much worthwhile. Because we know they don't have any archers left. Provided they're not able to sweep around this other side and ambush us, we should be okay here. Yeah, they're gonna whelp into the city walls here, because they're still, like, there's no advantage to them attacking into these guys either. And now we're just kind of on cleanup duty. Which is totally fine. In fact, more so than being on cleanup duty right here, we can actually kind of get some value out of killing these guys that are trying to retreat. This is making me excited right here. I have to say, as much as this, like, the elephants make me kind of salty because we have absolutely no counter to them, this is kind of great. Alright. Cleanup time. Yeah, this is how we clean up. Okay, they still didn't kill those peasants. Those peasants survived. Come on, veterancy. No? Yeah, we tried. At this point, I almost feel like we just want to start sending our archers out to, like, potshot these guys. I think that's actually not a bad idea. Go, veteran 2 archers. Yeah. You want to try to hide back behind the mountain, I'm still going to find you. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to kill you. We're going to go Liam Neeson on these guys. There is no escape for them. Actually curious. Not sure this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. If these guys don't kill them, we need one more shot on this army to finish it. And that may buy us the turns that we need to restore some stability to our city. So we had to get out there and do this. Alright. That's success right there, guys. That's success. No complaint from me. Let's get this done. We can actually buy this out with money, which isn't a bad idea. Our stability is already recovering, though, so I don't think I want to do that. The main reason I don't want to do that is because there's still the option to include this into one of our cities. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. Okay. Let's see what we can do over here in Oxenford, because I know we're trying to rush this stronghold, too. I think we're getting more value out of our money to rush that. So now we have a nice stronghold here that we can go ahead and put our archers on. And let's see what our forces look like over here. We have 2 veteran archers, 1 non-veteran archer, and we have a warrior that I would rather separate out. So let's do this. Let's combine this archer with this, separate out this warrior, and add the warrior to that. So we've got warriors, pikemans, and archers. The warriors are obviously extremely weak. They're not really what we're after. Here, this great swordsman would be really nice for us to get, but we're 3 turns out on the science. Okay. So with us being 3 turns out on the science for that, our next thought comes to how do we more efficiently manage units here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes. 3 of those are great hexes for our ranged units, although 1 of them is potentially exposed. 3 are decent for our melee units. We would like to expand our city more, but I don't think we're going to do that without population. So due to the fact that we know we need to increase our population, it becomes more important for us to generate more food. Now, I don't know how many farmers' quarters we have. That's a maker's quarters. That's a farmer's quarters. That's a main plaza, maker's quarters, stronghold. Stronghold. Okay. Probably would have been better, I guess, to make a farmer's quarter. This will Add additional food to our farmers' quarters. That seems like a good idea. Let's do that. And then makers' quarters are the other thing we have a lot of. And that's going to be production, I assume. Yeah. So let's go ahead and focus on unit cost. Well, that's way too many turns. That's way too many turns. Experience would be possibly good, but that's also way too many turns, I feel like. It's going to get us more science. Money seems really good, but that's also per trade route, which we're not going to have trade routes if we're under siege. Let's do industry per worker. That seems pretty good. Or should we just make more units? Maybe we just make more units. Maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. I'm going to go for more pikemen and one more archer. I think that's probably fine here. We may actually go ahead and try to use the money to connect this to this city next round too, so that when we do use our agrarian thing, we can get our agrarian thing. I keep mispronouncing that, but when we do use our agrarian mother's milk effect, we'll be able to get 2 population here instead of 1, which should allow us to build 1 more district. That's what we're gonna do. So far though, I think we're holding out okay. I say that, and then next turn we're gonna see like elephants everywhere, and I'm just gonna be like, I give up. Unit veterancy. Okay, so we did get veterancy on 2 of our knights here. I really wish that we had another source of iron. That's not going to happen anytime soon, though. It does take turns to build outposts, so we're not going to be able to get it here. We should have connected this right away, and that would have... Or not iron, but horses. If we had connected that right away, we would have had enough. Since we didn't, we don't. And that's kind of the real problem here. And I'm almost certain we controlled that, because it has that marble in it that I know we had access to before. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just go ahead and find our armies. Sentry up.
Keeping watch.
End the turn. Alright, so did we just get a turn without any sieges? Did that happen? Alright. Where are we on money for joining this? We actually have enough now to attach this, so we're going to do that. That will, of course, reduce our stability quite a bit. Public order is currently at 76. It will be minus 5% per turn. So we do need to increase our stability here. Let's look at ways that we can do that. That will do it. So let's go for this. We'll actually prioritize that. Might even... Yeah, we're going to put that before animal barns, because we do need our stability to be in a good place here since we're being constantly sieged. What that will do, though, is that will allow us then to be able to get to population from that, and potentially we may even be able to build quarters already. Yeah, we can. We can already build quarters here, so we can expand out to places where it is advantageous for us. Not a ton to be gained here. I mean, we could put more melee units down if we put quarters here, but I really feel like putting a quarter right here. Like, I'd like to eliminate this kind of weakness that we have here, but there's no way to do it. I mean, even if we build all the way around, there's still higher hexes here. So if we build here, we get a hex that has height advantage. That's kind of nice. If we build here, we get hexes that will actually insulate our archer that we're liking to put here, or that we're enjoying putting right there. There's just a lot of different options, right? Let's go with... I mean, here we lose 3 production, but we gain 7 order, which is very useful. I'm gonna do that, I think, as well. It's gonna be 9 turns, 5 turns. Okay, that's fine. We're basically on a turn crunch, trying to figure out what the most efficient thing we can do with our turns and stuff is here. What are the advantages to luxuries again? Oh, that's actually pretty nice. Let's go ahead and do that. Although they will be able to ransack this, so we'll lose that stability rather quickly, potentially. So maybe that's not actually worth now that I think about it. Yeah, that's fine. Ending our turn here. I mean, so far, we've weathered the storm pretty well. Okay, we can see them coming in now. What do you guys got? What do you guys got? 4 crossbowmen. That's not a problem. If you want to bring lots of crossbowmen, bring them. I'm actually kind of okay with that. We do have the ability of Building an artisan's quarter, is that going to let us build it there? No. So then what are they telling us that we could build an artisan's quarter on that we control? Because I don't think there's anything, really. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's showing that as an option when there's nothing we can do with it, but okay. Additional farmer slots, additional food. That doesn't seem like a bad idea. Here we're going to go for mother's milk. Boom. More population is always a good thing. Public order is falling here pretty badly, so we do need some more stability stuff, which is what our aqueduct's going to give us. We can also build a new commons quarters, which is going to give us a little more stability as well. That is a 6-turn construction. Is there anything else that provides stability that would be less? This would be 4 turns and provide 2 stability. I'm going to go for that instead. We could use gold to finish the, or money, I guess, to finish the aqueduct here. Is that actually, oh, it is referred to as money. I just keep calling it gold, but it's money. That's tough. Probably worth it to finish this just so that we can reduce the amount of stability we're losing every turn. Okay, Oxenfree has slowed their stability loss as well. We now have access to heavy infantry. We can work on an armory. That's pretty nice, extra veterancy, but we do need 3 iron for that, which we're not going to have. The other option is the ability to merge cities and build forts. I'm going to go for military architecture. Is this able to be used as a defense weapon? No, it's not. It's just for sieging. But being able to merge our cities here could make a big, big difference to our war effort. So we're going to go ahead and sortie here, because we do, in my opinion, have the advantage in this fight. All of our units are fresh now. They're veterans. This is actually kind of great.
What? No.
So let's put our horsemen there. Another horseman there. These are knights, not horsemen. I know I'm saying the wrong thing, guys. Here? And these guys in over here. Yeah, let's do... Ooh, actually, no. Let's do that. Let's do that and protect our other pikemen that's still slightly damaged. And deployment. All they have is crossbowmen. Which normally I would, you know, not be super happy about, but the fact that they're crossbowmen and not gunners makes me extremely happy, because it means that we're not just going to get completely wrecked with no recourse. I'm not salty about gunners at all. We just overrun them right here? I think we do. Can we hit them with another archer first? We can't. Okay. So let's just overrun them. Well, we need to do damage to them first if we want to overrun them. Can you stop clicking out when I'm trying to click units, please? Let's see. Move him here. Move him here. Move this here. Take another shot at these guys, further reducing their health. My concern here is that we could leave these guys exposed pretty badly. There is at least trees here, right? Yes, there is. Let's just do that. And then we can also, if we really want to, we can still do this, which isn't a bad idea. We do leave our horsemen a little bit exposed here, but they should have killed that guy off. It doesn't look like they did. It looks like that guy somehow survived. Well, thought it did. Thought it survived. Thought wrong. It's dead. So we can, if we need to, we can always move our horsemen back into the fort next round right there. But we shouldn't need to at the moment. Okay, that's fine. Because we've thinned out their forces so much here, it actually makes sense for us to go more offensive. That's really what we've been doing, is going, okay, now that you're hurt, we need to finish you. Like, we're not going to give them the opportunity to recover here, because there's no value in that. Get them. Love it. I love it. Finish them. Really? That doesn't actually kill them. I'm kind of surprised by that. There's no way for us to rush that unit. They're too far out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get our kills on this non-veteran unit to see if we can raise it to veterancy to get some more firepower out of it. Still no luck. Alright. With this unit, we could move it right here, but it's already taken a little bit of damage, so I'm not sure I want to chase. I feel like chasing here is potentially a trap, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to back off now. Unless we run them down. Let's do this. Let's move this unit here where it's going to have tree cover and be on the river so that it can move through the river next turn. And bring one of our archers over here to start taking shots at these guys. This allows us, if we need to be able to retreat our archer back. In the meantime, we are chasing down their last unit so that they can't do this whole drawn out, we're going to, you know, back off and retreat just as much as we need to draw the fight out again thing. Okay. They've got 4 more units right here, including an elephant. Alright. So there's that, guys. We get to prepare for elephant time. My favorite. Do you guys know I love the elephants? I think the elephants are extremely balanced here. Whoa. Oh. Okay, wait. Oh, to merge those cities, it would be 9,000 gold. Okay, so that's never going to happen. That's like a never ever thing. Just a never ever thing here. Yeah, this is probably fine right now. Let's go ahead and just set these guys to sentry mode and end our turn. How many turns do we have left? We have 6 turns left to weather the storm. I definitely think that we can handle this. The biggest problem here, once again, is going to be those stupid elephants. Because there's no countermeasure to them. So, like, of course that's going to be the biggest problem. 5 turns left. And we're under siege, which we expected. We're going to go straight into a sortie. We're going to go straight into confirming our battle. And for this instance, what we really, really need to do is make sure that our units that are effective against the horsemen, which is none of them, are in the right spot to be effective against the horsemen, which is impossible. So basically, we're just going to do the impossible. That makes as much sense as it sounds like it makes. Let's do the improbable then. When left with the impossible or the improbable, it is probably best to aim for the improbable. Which in this instance means trying to take advantage of our archers to weather the storm and do as much damage as possible to their elephants. I mean, or we just wipe out their pikemen. Like, the problem is, these guys do a ton of damage. And of course, they're reinforcing those units with pikemen as well. I'm just gonna basically try to get as much damage as we can on the elephants. Unless that doesn't work, in which case this is not a good situation. I don't like doing this, but this seems like the best potential option here because it does allow us to continue shooting at the elephant. And without shooting at the elephant, we're basically screwed. So yeah, we're gonna go after the elephant. we're gonna do the only thing we can actually do that makes any sense at all. Seems like a plan, right? Is that a forest? Can I tell if that's a forest? That's open ground. Open ground, open ground. But this does require line of sight, which means they might not be able to hit me if I'm up here. Does create the opportunity for their pikemen to come running up here and stab my archers in the back, which I'm not super keen on, but this may be worth. I'm just playing more aggressively because we know that there's absolutely no solution to the elephants. Like, there's just not. There. Alright, let's go. Look, guys, the elephant wiped out almost all of our peasants. I'm super shocked. Oh, that's not good. That's real not good. Pull these units back. Pikemen here do have the height advantage, so they can actually get some pretty solid damage in. Yeah. Yeah, this seems alright. Keep hitting this to try to reduce the combat strength, but it's not going to help much. That is obviously not going to end up being a good trade. This has more potential to be a good trade. But not as good as just putting this here as a defender. So here we do significant damage to them, or we just keep poking away at that, or we do a minor bit of damage to them with the potential to actually cause them to do slightly less damage. This feels like, you know, a good decision. So does this, though. Like, We still haven't hampered their damage at all, I don't think. Yeah. Okay. Tough decisions. 5 to 10, 15 to 25, 35 to 45. There's not a whole lot we can do. Like, there's just not. With the elephant guys, it's just problematic to do anything. Okay, sure. Finish them off. Maybe get veterancy here? Maybe? Yeah? No. No. Okay. That would have been nice, but that's why we can't have that. Let's go over here. I hate those elephants so much. I hate those elephant units so much. There's zero balancing factor for them. They're just ridiculously good. We can't even hit them with knights. I'm willing to guarantee that even if we hit them with a knight, they're gonna come out on top. Watch. Which makes rushing these guys with a knight risky, because if they just decide to come out with the elephant, we're basically wrecked. So we're gonna go a different direction. We're gonna rush these guys with the elephant or with the knights anyway, and we're just caution to the wind. Get out there, peasants. Make sure that if that elephant wants to go to our knight, they have to go through you first. It's really the only way we can do anything here. That's a decent exchange, but not a great exchange. That makes that exchange slightly better. This could potentially kill these guys if we get in range. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we're sacrificing peasants to the elephants. That's what's happening. It's the only option. We sacrifice peasants to the elephants. Maybe if this elephant wasn't in fortification, we would actually be able to do more damage to it with our knights. But as it stands right now, the elephants have basically shown themselves to be the invincible unit. So I'm not even gonna risk it. And I do think that a big part of that is the fact that this is not considered cavalry. It's actually kind of ridiculous that that's not considered cavalry. If I stab an elephant with a spear, his rider falls. That's how that works. Okay. 46 damage there. I mean, honestly, though, like I said, that's not a hard fix. Like, if it were me, I would just make this a cavalry gunner. Because I don't think that cavalry is necessarily... Or even mounted. Like, why not use mounted as a keyword? That could work well, too. Okay. We're still coming out on top here, though, guys. We're still coming out on top. I'm gonna try to tone down my salt at the elephants. Oh my gosh. It's cool, just, you know, murder my veteran units and stuff, because that makes sense. Murder my veteran units with your god elephant. Alright, we have to move this guy back immediately. Like, that's grade A, #1 priority. It's gotta go back. Come on, get the elephant. I know we're only hitting it for like 5 per shot, but get it, guys. You gotta finish this thing off. Please, please. We have felled the elephant. The war is a success. Like, that's literally what it comes down to. As long as they don't produce any more elephants anytime soon, we've got this. 3 turns left. 3 turns left, and so far we are surviving the siege. We've mostly just lost peasants, too, which, like, okay, honestly, it feels kind of bad to say that, like, it really does. I'm not one for sacrificing people, but if you're gonna have to, then peasants are a good way to go. I'm just saying, like, it's not ideal, but sometimes you don't live in ideal worlds. Sometimes you live in a situation where you just need to survive, and that's where we're at, and we did it. We have done it. We have succeeded. They did not take either one of our cities. Success. Victory against the devil elephants. Yeah, those elephant things are crazy, though. I think either they need to, like, do a designation for mounted units.
Hi, it's me again. Back to say just
the literal Jeff, guys.
First and most obviously, thank you for playing. We really
You're welcome.
hope you enjoyed it.
I did, minus the elephants, Jeff. The elephants are a problem, Jeff.
What the full game will have to offer. The scenario you just played was
No, the elephants aren't a problem. It's just that, like, either gunners need a weakness, they need a unit that can actually take out gunners, or they need to change the designation of that elephant to, like, mounted cavalry or mounted gunner, something like that. I get what they're trying to do by keeping it simplified, but, like, that was just, that unit had no weaknesses, right?
And thank you for leaving your mark on Humankind.
You're welcome. Alright, we survived 20 turns and we killed 45 enemy units. How about that, guys? How about that? So I'm going to go ahead and do the feedback here. There we go. Let's go next. Feedback. Get rid of elephants. How many times do you play this scenario? 1 time. I'll probably play it some more, though. How would you rate your overall experience with this OpenDev scenario? I'm very satisfied with that. That was a really, really cool siege scenario. It did feel a little bit long, but I mean, if it comes down to this, like, I do like the granularity of the siege. And I could have just hit auto and let our units do their own thing, but I didn't try that because I thought it'd be better to do it manual. I may have been wrong. I may have made bad tactical decisions, and auto may have been better. How likely would you recommend the Humankind OpenDev to a friend? Highly recommend it. How likely would you recommend the Humankind game to a friend based on your experience with the OpenDev? I think it's going to be a great game. I do think that they need to look at gunner units, though. The fact that gunner units are able to apply their damage equally no matter what, like where they're at, is fine. I'm good with that. Or rather, no matter who they're firing at, I'm good with that. But there needs to be some unit that actually is anti-gunner. And maybe there is. Maybe there's artillery that we haven't seen in the scenario that functions as anti-gunner. That could actually be a thing I hadn't thought about. I'm sure there's potentially something that is anti-gunner, but in that scenario, because of the elephant gunner being so strong, like, it just felt like something was off. And I hate to say that, because most of the OpenDev's been really great. How difficult or easy was it to win the battles? It was not too hard, but not too easy. What did you think of this difficulty level? I thought it was fine. Isn't that the same thing? Okay. Overall, how interesting were the battles? I thought they were actually really interesting. I thought having the way that we had to change our strategy round to round, like, if you really think about how this battle went down, it started with us being very, very defensively and weathering the waves of their units. Then we had to deal with the stability of our cities, and during that course of action, we also needed to become more aggressive to end the sieges faster, or the sorties on the sieges faster, so we had to start being more aggressive. I actually thought that unfolded really, really well and felt right, because they threw everything they had at us. We weathered the storm, and then when they were weak, we fought, and we attacked, and we came back in, and I thought that was really great. Which explains why you found the battle interesting. I do love the combat animations. The terrain is actually a really, really big factor. There is no historical angle in this. I mean, yeah, that was kind of cool because it was like a historical thing. What if this happened? The strategic depth was really cool. The AI was pretty sound. Bar when they were retreating. The units were definitely interesting, bar the elephant. Other, please specify. Oh, come on. I can't. Okay, I can click everything and other. But if I do other, then it doesn't let me comment. Hopefully, well, I know there's a thing to comment at the end, so I'll just comment at the end and be like, just so you know, those elephants are a little nuts. How well did you understand unit movement in the battle? Very much. How well did you understand how damage was calculated? Very much. Like, we understood at the end why things were... When we finally killed that stupid elephant, that was the most memorable moment of the battle for me. That final victory kill on the elephant. Did the enemy mount a siege on your city? Yes, they did. That's the whole scenario. What did you do after noticing your enemy siege? I waited a few more turns in order to train more units. I waited until they attacked. I made a sortie. Did not wait. I fought back. We had units to defend. There was no reason to wait. Fortifications were present in the battles. Did the fortifications give a battle bonus? Yes, they did. You mentioned noticing the battle bonuses. What were the bonuses? Protect units from siege weapons. They do that. Restrict units' movements. They do that. Fortifications give a defensive bonus all the time. Yeah, I'm going to read the rest of these before I check that one. Fortification restrict enemy units. Oh yeah, that's more accurate. Fortifications give a defensive bonus to enemies once behind. Some of them can. The stronghold can do that, but that's not all fortifications, so I think it's this. Did you happen to use the end round button without doing anything during the round? Yeah, a couple of times. Why? I was in a position of strength with defensive bonus. I had everything other. I had things producing and was just waiting for the next siege. There was no need to do anything. Oh, well, that was an option. I was waiting for the enemy to attack. But I mean, I had things producing. We weren't just... It wasn't an oops, I ended the turn on accident. You had the longbowman unit to use in battle. Did longbowmen have a battle bonus? Yes, they did. They gain a bonus when their target is weaker. They can move after they attack. They gain attack range when standing on your emblematic district. They can ignore the line of sight and fire over obstacles. I'm reasonably sure that's what it was. You battled against Jaguar warriors. Did they have a bonus? Yes. They gain bonus when they attack. They have a powerful charge. They gain bonus when side by side. They can move after they have attacked. It's none of those. They don't actually suffer damage penalties. You battled against Elephant Khmer units. Did they have a battle bonus? Yes. They have a powerful charge. They gain bonus when they attack. They can move after they have attacked. None of those. Wasn't very happy. What was your favorite part about the scenario? The siege felt great. The siege felt really good. It felt like it went in historically / strategically accurate phases. Felt like we defended against massive waves. And then when we saw opportunities, we counterattacked to buy more time to recover between sieges, which was really nice. What was your least favorite part? The elephants. They are the only unit with no weakness. They seem like cavalry, but have the gunner classification. So you don't have a good unit to counter them. Pikemen, for example. Okay. Is there anything else you want to share with us regarding what you experienced in this scenario? Sure, you can put my name on stuff, and I really like the siege mechanics. But the non-designation of the elephant as cavalry was both immersion breaking and felt rather unbalanced. That's something they can change, though. I mean, these are not final looks at the game. Alright, so that is Hold the Fort. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you think that the designation on that elephant cavalry unit that wasn't a cavalry unit was a problem or not. And maybe that's just me and I'm just being salty, but it felt like the only thing that was really unbalanced. Everything else felt fairly balanced, fairly not equal, but very paper, rock, scissors, give and take, which is what it should be, in my opinion. Like, it felt like we could make good decisions to have good outcomes in every instance except for when dealing with that elephant. But you guys tell me what you think in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!